rainy night around 11 p.m., a cabin owner took a quick photo of their backyard. At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary until they brightened the image. That's when a chilling detail emerged, a dark figure standing beside the slide. It wasn't visible before the enhancement, and once spotted, it sent shivers down spines. Some viewers claimed it looked like a ghostly presence, while others pointed out it resembled figures seen in other eerie, possibly doctored photos. Coincidence? Or something more? Deep in a remote Russian village, a group of men were staying in a quiet cabin when they did something you'd never expect. They started feeding a wild bear candy.
Ну иди сюда, на.
Охуеть, блядь.
Ты ешь. Да, подожди, на.
И у него пена въебала от сладкого.
Подожди, на.
According to the video's uploaders, locals had been feeding this bear for so long that it stopped seeing humans as a threat and started treating them more like a drive-through. Sounds wild, right? But let's be real. This is the kind of situation where one wrong move could turn a jaw-dropping moment into a deadly one. Hidden deep within Ohio's famous Helltown lies a place soaked in tragedy and cloaked in chilling legend. From eerie whispers of cult rituals to reports of supernatural encounters, the land's grim past still lingers. Once the sacred home of the Lape tribe, it turned violent after bloody conflict with settlers, and though the battles ended, an unsettling energy remained. Today, Helltown is known not just for its haunting silence, but for the unexplainable activity that keeps thrill seekers and investigators on edge. One night, urban explorer Chris from Hill dared to enter alone. The moment he stepped across the creaking, overgrown Everett-covered bridge, he felt that something was off. Deeper into the woods, near a decaying barn that looked like it had been abandoned for decades, things took a terrifying turn.
The barn of Helltown. Like a little shack back here.
It's like a little shack. Then, static. His audio cut out. Moments later, his fully charged battery drained to zero, just as distant, guttural noises echoed through the trees. I'm surprised this barn is still standing. A flicker of movement.
I'm surprised this barn is still standing despite how old it is. What the hell is that? What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Still, he pressed on, determined to document the unexplained. But just as he moved deeper into the brush, he froze. Something's over there.
What the fuck is that? Something's over there. I can hear it. This stuff is like quicksand.
The ground beneath him felt unstable, like quicksand. Then, he saw them. A pair of glowing eyes locked on him from the darkness. Chris didn't wait to see what they belonged to. He turned and ran, vanishing into the night, leaving behind only questions and one very haunted barn. As he walked past a quiet, unassuming house, something odd caught his eye.
There's where I saw, what is that?
lifting his camera for a better look. Just then, a shadowy figure appeared on the rooftop only to vanish in a split second, ducking out of sight the moment it was spotted. The clip cuts off soon after, leaving one chilling question behind. Who or what was watching him from above, and why did it hide the second it was seen? Reddit user Behi Lit Music had just ordered DoorDash to his rental home, nothing out of the ordinary. As usual, the driver snapped a photo of the delivery at the door, but when Behi checked the image, something strange caught his eye. The curtain by the door looked slightly disturbed. Curious, he zoomed in, and that's when he saw it. A dark face with glowing white eyes staring back at him from the glass window. Behi considered himself a rational person, but he couldn't make sense of what he was seeing. He'd looked at that doorway countless times before, but nothing there could have created such a shadow or reflection. The curtain was hanging just as it should. So what was in the house? When this man's uncle passed away a few months ago, he left behind a small, forgotten plot of land. Its only feature, a crumbling, old shed. The property went to his father, but neither of them thought much of it. That is, until curiosity finally got the better of them. They decided to explore the shed, expecting little more than dust and junk. And for the most part, that's exactly what they found, until something strange caught his eye. Buried beneath the clutter was an old photograph and a note. The message was cryptic. She would never understand. Our relationship was only that of work. I have watched the result of our time. He still has time until 30. Confused, he shared the note online, hoping someone could make sense of it. Almost immediately, users began connecting the dots. One person even recognized the background in the photo. It was taken in St. James Park, London. But what did it all mean? Was this a buried secret from a hidden past, or a warning about the future that's yet to unfold? A man was enjoying some time in his yard when something bizarre caught his eye. His neighbor was on the other side of the fence, oddly reaching underneath it, her hand blindly searching near a pile of rocks. She looked like she was digging for something. But what? Living next to her sounds like a nightmare. There's someone who lives deep in the woods, and every day they used to walk past this eerie abandoned house. It's been empty for years, at least. That's what everyone thought. The owner's daughter refuses to sell it, though no one knows why. So it just sits there, rotting, silent, and unsettling. Every time they walked by, they felt that prickling sense that someone was watching from inside. One day, just to creep out their coworkers, they snapped a quick photo of the house. Later, when they zoomed in to get a better look, their blood ran cold. In one of the upstairs windows was a pale, wrinkled face, someone, or something, staring right back at them. And suddenly, all those uneasy feelings made sense, which somehow made it even worse. They don't walk that way anymore. They found a new path. A man kept getting motion sensor alerts late at night. At first, he brushed them off. Maybe an animal, perhaps the wind. But after too many sleepless nights and no clear answers, he decided to set up a camera at the edge of his property. What it captured left him rattled. In the dead of night, something strange appeared on the footage. A faint, almost human-shaped figure drifted across the frame, pacing back and forth, over and over, like it was trapped in a loop. It wasn't fog. It wasn't smoke. The way it moved was too deliberate, too real. Chills ran down his spine. He was certain now this was what kept triggering the alarms, and whatever it was, it didn't look like it planned on leaving. A young woman was enjoying a quiet night at her cozy forest home, curled up with her cats, when suddenly, they all turned to stare at the window. That's when she saw it too. Just beyond the glass stood a strange, eerie-looking bird, wings spread wide, completely frozen mid-motion. Creeped out, She quickly snapped a photo to show her friends. But when she looked at the picture, there was something else. In the shadows behind the bird, a pair of small glowing eyes stared back at her, far apart and unlike anything she'd ever seen before. It wasn't any animal she recognized. The whole moment left her rattled to the core. Now, she always keeps her curtains shut tight after dark. In February 2019, a YouTuber named Jared Milan was startled by a bizarre noise outside his home around 2 a.m. Driven by curiosity, he threw on some clothes and stepped into the dark to investigate.
What is that sound?
He later uploaded the eerie footage to his channel, hoping the internet could solve the mystery. Theories came flooding in. Some blamed train brakes. Others believed it was one of those unexplained sky sounds reported around the world. But even now, years later, no one truly knows what Jared heard that night. 6 years ago, a Reddit user snapped a casual photo while staying at a friend's remote cabin. Nothing unusual was happening at the time. No ghost stories. No creepy vibes, just a quiet moment. But that friend had always mentioned strange noises and an eerie feeling in the house, even though nothing ever really happened. It wasn't until later, when scrolling through the photos, that something in this particular shot stopped them cold. Something unexplainable. They're not the type to buy into ghost stories, but this image has haunted them ever since. Even now, just looking at it gives them chills. The friend has long since moved out, but the mystery of what was captured that day still lingers, and they're hoping someone with a sharper eye might finally make sense of it. A Reddit user recently shared a chilling story from his secluded home deep in the woods. While he was away, his security camera picked up something truly disturbing. A blood-curdling scream echoing through the empty halls of his house. He's lived there on and off since he was 7. Now, he's 60, and according to him, the place has never been normal. He'd heard everything from unexplained bangs and guttural growls to whispers and shifting shadows. He believes the land itself is cursed, once home to an old farmhouse with a dark history. 2 people have already died in the current house. Now, as he prepares to move out for good, the paranormal activity is escalating, almost like whatever's there knows he's leaving and doesn't want him to. Late one night around 12:30 a.m., a Reddit user named Zero Dragon attempted to capture a photo of the moonlight spilling into their bedroom. The space was dim, lit only by the soft glow of natural light, and all their cats were elsewhere at the time. But when they later reviewed the photo, something chilling caught their eye: the shadowy outline of what looked like a cat sitting near the AC unit. Strangely, they hadn't seen anything unusual when snapping the picture, and flipping on the lights to check wasn't an option. The breaker would trip every time they tried. The mysterious shape appeared only in the photo, not in real life. To prove there was nothing physically there, they took another photo the next day in broad daylight. Nothing. The area was empty. So, was it just a trick of the light? Or do their cats have a ghostly companion watching over them in the dark? Back in 2008, 4 friends took a trip to the woods for a fun getaway. One night, while relaxing in their rental cabin and playing Wii Sports, they decided to film themselves just goofing around. Everything seemed normal, until something chilling appeared in the footage.
Hello? Oh, God.
Behind them, a faint ghostly figure suddenly darted past the window. No one noticed it in the moment, but watching the video back later revealed what looked less like a person and more like a transparent apparition. There 1 second, gone the next. The creepiest part, they were supposed to be completely alone. If anything else strange happened during their trip, they never talked about it. All that remains is this eerie, unexplained video. This man was shaken to his core after checking the CCTV footage from a shed-mounted camera aimed at his cabin's kitchen. While he and his wife were upstairs, the camera picked up something chilling. Someone, or something, moving from right to left inside the kitchen. They were supposed to be completely alone. So who, or what, was in there with them?
While hiking a remote high-altitude trail, a group of adventurers got more than they bargained for. Their detector suddenly picked up a strange signal coming from beneath the snow. Curious, they started digging only to uncover what looked like the body of a bizarre, unknown creature.
I got a very strong signal. What? What? What the heck is that thing? Oh my god.
Some are convinced it might be a Yeti. But is it a genuine discovery or an elaborate hoax? And if it is staged, how on earth would someone pull off something this convincing in the middle of nowhere? A group of hikers found themselves deep within the snowy wilderness of Finland. The only sounds were the crunch of boots on frozen ground and the whisper of wind through the trees until everything changed.
Mistä vitusta toi tulee?
Out of nowhere, a strange metallic hum pierced the silence, not from the forest itself, but from the sky above. It was cold, mechanical, and unlike anything they'd ever heard. The hikers stood frozen, staring upward as the unsettling sound echoed through the treetops for nearly 10 minutes. They caught it all on camera, but to this day, no expert has been able to explain what it was. No animals, no machinery, no natural cause, just a haunting hum in the Finnish wilderness, and a mystery that still has no answer. Two friends decided to explore an abandoned train station in East Belgium one night, hoping for a bit of thrill and adventure. As they arrived, a strange atmosphere hung in the air, unnaturally quiet, yet filled with distant, unsettling sounds. There were faint thuds, the screeching of metal, and an eerie mechanical humming that seemed to come from somewhere behind the old, rusting trains.
What the fuck, ouwe? Wat is... Oh, weet je ik zit kanker in.
Drawn toward the noise, the two stumbled upon a massive, dark warehouse standing silently behind the tracks. The sound seemed to be coming from inside. As they moved closer to investigate, the unsettling noises only grew louder and more complex, as if something or someone was at work in the shadows. Then, out of nowhere, flashlights flickered on in the distance. Several figures appeared on the tracks, moving slowly and deliberately, scanning the area with intent.
Gasten, lopen er mensen in de trein? Ze hebben helmen op. What the fuck gebeurt daar? Er lopen gewoon mensen in die trein en we horen kanker en je muziek. Zullen we dichterbij? Gast, ik wil kijken, ouwe. Ik moet weten wat er is. Ik moet het weten. Niemand gaat er gaan voor het stuk doorrijden.
friends froze, realizing these people weren't just passing by. They were searching. Spooked, the pair retreated, hiding in the dark and watching as the mysterious figures in overalls moved methodically through the station. Despite their fear, curiosity got the better of them. They waited until the coast seemed clear, then went back in for one final look. The sounds were even stranger now, less random, more rhythmic, almost like a hidden pattern or signal.
What the fuck? Filmen.
Suddenly, the flashlights returned, this time closer than before. In a panic, the friends sprinted back to their car and fled the area. Still unsettled and eager to understand what they had witnessed, the two approached some women living nearby. When they asked about the noises and the men, the women did not explain, just a warning. It's dangerous near those tracks at night. Months later, the friends couldn't let it go. They returned to the site, hoping to find answers. The sounds were still there, just as mechanical, just as haunting. The men in overalls were still patrolling the tracks and the warehouse, almost like guardians of a forgotten secret. Then, without warning, a scream shattered the silence. Loud, human, terrified.
Die geluiden goed kan horen. Ik zie mensen lopen in de trein. Trein. Ze hoor je schreeuwen.
Mensen schreeuwen.
Ik hoor ook mensen schreeuwen hoor. Gast! Yo! What the fuck? Ik weet niet of je het hoorde. Maar ik hoorde net een man schreeuwen. Okay, dit.
Panicked once again, they ran. But this time, they couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't just hearing things. They were being watched. Desperate to find out what was going on, they eventually spoke to a hotel receptionist in the nearby town.
Ik heb mij heel laten vragen gezien. We waren nog bij de laatste prijs toen. En toen zaten we allemaal rare mensen in dat op pad. Dus weet je ook mensen aan het weg zijn daar? Ja?
Jullie, ik weet dat er een skateboard is voor op terug, misschien dat het daar nog was.
Dus de skateboard, oké. Ja, dankjewel. Hoe dan daar geluiden en zo?
Ja, dat is van die skate.
The conversation finally revealed pieces of the mystery, but whether the full truth was ever uncovered, or if they even wanted to know it, remains unclear. This person stumbled upon something truly chilling during a visit to the notorious Gilson Cemetery in Nashua, a place steeped in ghost stories and eerie folklore. In a TikTok video that's quickly gaining attention, Amy performs a 360-degree scan of the graveyard, only to reveal a mysterious, shadowy figure lurking in the background.
Do me a favor, go to Google Maps right now from wherever you are. Put in Gilson Cemetery, Nashua, New Hampshire. It is a historical site rumored to be haunted, blah, blah. Go on Street View, take a 360, and take a little stroll down the road. Just look. There's a ghost right there.
While some skeptics are quick to dismiss it as just a blurry passerby, Amy is convinced there's more to it, something not entirely of this world. Gilson Cemetery has long been haunted by tales of a ghostly woman in white, the haunting cries of a lost baby, and now, maybe, a new spirit caught on camera. Back in 2022, a TikToker named Kelly was venturing through the wild swamps of Florida's Everglades when she caught something strange on camera. It was a long, snake-like creature she'd never seen before, So bizarre, she wondered if she'd just discovered an entirely new species. Any guesses what it might have been? While driving alone through the desolate back roads of West Texas, a man spotted something that made his blood run cold. Far ahead, motionless in the middle of an abandoned lease road, stood a mysterious figure cloaked in a long, white gown. There was something off about it, something deeply unnatural. As he crept closer, heart pounding, the figure suddenly vanished into thin air. No sound, no trace, no explanation. It wasn't a statue. It wasn't a person. So what was it? A train was gliding through the peaceful Australian countryside. Everything seemed perfectly normal. But then, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a white shape appeared by the tracks. At first, it looked like a swirl of mist, but then it began to take shape. It drifted silently across the tracks and vanished, just like that. The eerie part? The person filming didn't even notice it at the time. It was only later, when viewers started commenting, that they realized they might have caught something chilling on camera. A ghost. It was supposed to be just a fun camping trip, a group of friends hiking deep into the forest, and they decided to take some photos to remember it all. One of them, an experienced backpacker, decided to take a group photo before they packed up and left. At first glance, everything seemed normal. But when they looked back at the image later, something didn't sit right. There was a figure, faint, almost hidden, lurking in the tree. No one remembers seeing anyone else out there. No footsteps, no voices, just the quiet of the woods. So who, or what, was watching them from the shadows? A few hours ago, this person was just at home, heading into the bathroom. Nothing unusual until they opened the window. That's when they heard it.
Was zur Hölle?
A strange, distant noise echoing from the forest. It sounded like a massive crowd, like a stadium full of people shouting all at once. But here's the creepy part. They live in a tiny village in the middle of nowhere, Austria. No stadiums nearby, no events, just forest, mountains, and silence. Even weirder, they've always felt uneasy in those woods, like something's watching, like they're not supposed to be there. So what was it? Who or what was out there making that noise where no one should be? A group of fishermen off the coast of Cries couldn't believe their eyes. In the middle of the vast ocean, drifting alone on a tiny patch of floating debris, sat a man, calm, quiet, and completely unbothered. No waving for help, no signs of fear, just an eerie, almost surreal stillness, like he was meditating in the face of death. No one knows how he got there, no shipwreck, no distress call, just him, serene and silent, like he belonged to the sea. Rescuers arrived just in time to pull him to safety. But long after he was gone, one question remained. Who was the chilled man? This person was driving down a quiet road in Kentucky when suddenly, a deer darted right in front of him. He had to swerve hard just to avoid hitting it. But then he notices something strange. The deer isn't running off like you'd expect. Instead, it's standing completely still, almost frozen. Curiosity gets the better of me, so he decided to pull over and head back for a closer look. That's when things get weird. Right next to the deer was a pale, almost glowing white figure. At first, he thinks his eyes must be playing tricks on him, but the more he stares, the clearer it becomes. It's like something out of a ghost story, standing silently beside the animal, unmoving. So, here's the question. Who or what was that shadowy presence? Was it just his imagination, or something far more chilling lurking in the Kentucky woods? This eerie image first made waves on Reddit back in 2020. accompanied by a bone-chilling caption. And honestly, at first glance, it's hard to argue. According to the post, the hunter had been making his way through a dim, misty forest when he noticed something strange, tall, motionless, and shaped like a human. It stood silently at the tree line, almost camouflaged against the forest floor. The hunter was convinced he wasn't alone. Something or someone was watching him. To him, it could only be a cryptid. But then, the internet did what it does best. Curious users began to analyze the image, zooming in and comparing details. And slowly, the truth began to emerge. It wasn't a creature at all. It was moss. More specifically, a type of moss or bark growth known as polyore, which can sometimes form oddly symmetrical, almost human-like shapes, especially in cold, damp forests like this one. So, what looked like a forest monster? It turned out to be nothing more than nature's twisted sense of humor, tricking our minds into seeing something that was never really there. A video shared by Reddit user Rick Musk comes from Dion, India, a place where locals often report hearing eerie cries and chilling screams near the railway tracks after dark, long after everyone else has gone home. Many believe these haunting sounds are the restless spirit of a woman who tragically lost her life in a train accident right at that very spot. Travelers passing through say they're gripped by an unshakable coldness, as if an unseen presence is silently watching them. The sounds don't match any known animal, so could there be some truth behind this ghostly tale? This person was flying over the Amazon in a creaky helicopter, scouting for wildlife shots. Below, the river twisted through dense jungle like a silver snake, until he realized one of the snakes wasn't the river. There it was, a massive serpent, over 30 feet long, gliding just under the surface. Its head broke the water, dark eyes, thick scales, moving slowly and sure like it ruled the jungle. He snapped photos, heart racing. From the sky, it was incredible. But he knew if he'd been hiking below, that thing could have swallowed him whole. Nature had made its point. Again. Back in August 2005, a group of amateur ghost hunters ventured into an abandoned house deep in the woods. While filming their exploration, something chilling suddenly appeared on camera. A mysterious figure that sent them fleeing in terror. Keep in mind, video editing wasn't nearly as advanced or widespread back then, which adds a layer of authenticity to the footage. But was it a ghost? Or just someone lurking in the shadows? The mystery remains. While hiking deep in the remote woods of Finland, this man stopped to snap a photo of the breathtaking landscape. But when he looked at the picture later, he was stunned. In the background, something or someone was there. He insists the area was empty when he took the shot. So what did he capture? Was someone silently watching him? Or did he unknowingly photograph something paranormal? Before we jump into the next encounter, I just want to take a moment to thank and congratulate all of you. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We are working harder than ever to bring you the scariest and most entertaining hiking encounters out there. Our goal? To take this channel to the top, and nothing's gonna stop us. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and enjoy the rest of the show. When we hit 10,000, a few lucky subscribers will get a surprise. Just make sure you're subscribed and have liked the video. Want a better chance to win? Drop a comment with your thoughts on the clips. Now let's dive back into the video. A few years back, a family took a trip to Jeffrey's Cliffs in Hawkville, Kentucky. It was supposed to be a peaceful day of hiking and snapping photos of the kids, but one picture revealed something far from ordinary. In the background, a blurry, shadowy figure loomed just behind the group. The unsettling part? According to the mom, no one else was anywhere near them when the photo was taken. Deep in a remote California forest, a lone explorer navigates the darkness with only a flashlight. As the beam cuts through the eerie silence, he suddenly stops. The camera captures his hushed, anxious whispers.
You think that was a coyote? What do you think that was? What was it? Do you see it where? Whoa. Holy crap!
What is that?
Holy...
In the distance, a strange figure moves. Towering and eerily human-like in its gait, its skin shimmers with a reptilian texture, covering its head, arms, and body. The dim light and grainy footage make it impossible to identify. A trick of the shadows? Someone in a suit? But if so, why would anyone be out here, in the middle of nowhere, dressed like that? While camping in the depths of Ottawa National Forest, a group of adventurers experienced a chilling encounter. Strange movements flickered through the shadows, and a mysterious figure lurked among the trees. At the time, they brushed it off as a passing animal, unable to make out its form in the darkness. But when they reviewed their footage later, their hearts pounded. What they captured on camera wasn't just an animal, it was something far more unsettling. One night, a man was driving down a pitch-black road when out of nowhere, chaos erupted. A gang of men wielding machetes burst onto the scene, charging straight at his car. Heart racing, he slammed the gear into reverse and tore backward into the darkness. The machete wielders gave chase, but after a terrifying few seconds, he managed to shake them off, barely escaping with his life. A man was enjoying a quiet run along a remote trail in eastern British Columbia when his peaceful jog took a terrifying turn out of nowhere.
Holy shit!
A massive grizzly bear burst onto the path. Without a second thought, the runner bolted, adrenaline kicking in as he sprinted for his life. For a few heart-pounding seconds, the bear gave chase. One wrong step, one slip, and it could have been the end. But luck and sheer endurance carried him to safety. While trekking through the desolate desert of southern New Mexico, a Reddit user came across something deeply disturbing. Half buried in the sand was a single woman's shoe, torn and shredded like it had been chewed by something not quite natural. There were no other belongings, no footprints, no tracks leading in or out, just that one mangled shoe sitting eerily alone in the middle of nowhere. It's almost impossible to believe someone simply lost it and didn't notice, especially out there, where isolation feels almost otherworldly. So now the question lingers like a whisper on the wind. What really happened to the woman who wore it? And more chillingly, is she even still human? On May 18th, 2024, what started as a calm, tethered hot air balloon ride turned into a heart-stopping moment.
Don't as long as she doesn't let go.
That would be bad.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, her feet.
As the balloon began to rise, a woman suddenly latched onto the outside of the basket, completely unnoticed by the passengers and crew. Dangling high above the ground with nothing but her grip keeping her alive, she held on for dear life. Thankfully, she managed to cling to the basket until the balloon touched down again. But for a few terrifying minutes, everyone watching thought they were about to witness a tragedy. It was a shocking reminder. Even a safe adventure can go wrong in an instant. While camping deep in the woods, this man made a discovery that would haunt anyone. An eerie mask, half buried in the mud, staring up at him with a twisted, unsettling design. There were no clues to who it belonged to or why it was there, but the moment he laid eyes on it, he felt a chill run down his spine. Was it just a discarded costume piece, or a silent witness to something far more sinister? A climber recently posted a jaw-dropping video that delivers a powerful safety reminder.
Alrighty, boys. This is why you tie knots in the end of your rope, or else you might just wrap off the end. Yeah, baby! Yeah! This is nutty! Look at that view!
Alrighty boys, this is why you always tie a knot at the end of your rope, just seconds before slipping right off the end. No knot, no warning, and a sudden drop that'll make your stomach flip. The footage is a gripping wake-up call. No matter how experienced you are, skipping even one basic safety step, like tying a stopper knot, can turn a routine rappel into a life-threatening fall. Climbing isn't just about strength or skill. It's about respecting the process. Most climbing accidents happen during rappelling, and this is exactly why. One night, as someone wandered outside, they spotted something truly bizarre. A bicycle riding itself, not rolling downhill, not pushed by the wind. This thing was pedaling forward, on its own. No rider, no strings, no tricks, just a bike, moving like it had a mind of its own. So if no one was on it, what was? After a heated argument at home, Talia decided to escape into the woods for a peaceful glamping trip with her loyal Dalmatian. Everything seemed perfect until the clock struck 11 p.m. That's when she heard it.
Yeah, because what is that? Let's go inside. Let's go inside. It sounds super far away, but like... No, what is that? Yo, come on. Come on, yo. He came inside so fast. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but we...
At first, she thought her dog was acting up just to get her attention. But then, that sound. A blood-curdling scream tore through the forest, sending chills down her spine. Terrified, Talia and her dog rushed inside and stayed up the rest of the night, too scared to sleep. By morning, they packed up and left, vowing never to return. But the strange part? This wasn't the first haunting reported at that very site. This video was filmed deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a place shrouded in mystery and known for one eerie phenomenon, a faint whisper of the word "hey" that many claim to hear. For years, people brushed it off as a hoax or clever marketing, until Allie captured something chilling on camera. The view was amazing, worth the effort. But while recording nature for her Snapchat, something unexpected happened. whisper, clear and unsettling, cut through the silence. Hey, was it just the wind? Or was something or someone watching from the trees? A couple who had been living peacefully off the grid started noticing something strange on their property one day. From a distance, it looked like a man wrapped in a blue tarp, but something about it was wrong. The way it moved was eerie, unnatural, almost inhuman. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. When they returned to the spot later, it was like nothing had ever been there. No footprints, no snapped branches, no sign of disturbance, just the eerie footage they managed to capture. So who or what was that? And how did it end up in such an isolated place? While out walking their dog near a nuclear power plant, a Reddit user stumbled upon some bizarre, unidentifiable objects, and naturally, they shared the strange discovery online. To their surprise, other users chimed in with their own photos of the same mysterious items from the same area. The weirdest part? No one knows what they are or where they came from. In Brazil, a group of men were digging, likely prepping the land for farming, when something bizarre happened.
Mexe aqui, ó. Ó, quanto mais mexe, mais o fogo. Tem condição disso, cara? Você viu no meio do nada aqui, ó. No alto, ó. Ó. O fogo aí. Mexe de novo, quer dizer que na brincadeira, nossa. Aqui, ó, aqui na frente, aqui. Ó. Lógico que não tem desse, cara. Ó. Mexe mais aqui no meio aqui, quer dizer? Na frente lá.
As they dug deeper, actual flames began erupting from the ground. Not steam, not smoke, real fire. And it didn't stop, it grew stronger the more they dug. Some believe it was a pocket of natural gas, like methane, finally escaping and igniting from the pressure or a spark. But not everyone buys that explanation. In spiritual circles, there are whispers that it could be something far more mysterious, perhaps a sacred site disturbed or cursed ground awakened by mistake. Whatever the truth is, fire bursting from the earth isn't just strange, it feels like a warning. On October 3rd, 2019, a group of hunters were deep in the forests of Ontario when an unexpected sound stopped them in their tracks.
Oh my God.
Out of the silence came a bone-chilling scream, deep, guttural, and filled with what sounded like raw agony. Oh my God. The hunters froze, eyes darting through the trees, straining to see what creature could make such a noise. But whatever it was, stayed hidden. The haunting wail echoed through the forest for minutes, unrelenting, eerie, and unlike anything they'd ever heard. Some claim it had to be an animal, but no one could agree on what kind. To this day, no one knows what was out there or what cried out in the dark that night. On July 16, 2006, two brothers set out for a hike in the dense forests of Tofino, leaving their family behind at a nearby campground. Aware of the area's reputation for wildlife encounters, They brought along a video camera just in case. As they ventured deeper into the woods, a large, dark figure suddenly appeared in the distance.
Maybe? Oh, God. Wait, come here, come here. Come here. Look at that. This is, he ran backwards, right? Over there somewhere. See, that could be a possible footprint. I don't know. Could be. Wait, stay back! What the hell?
For several tense seconds, they watched. Then, as one brother stepped forward for a closer look, the other yanked him back. Alarmed, they retreated about 50 meters. After waiting in silence, curiosity got the better of them, and they cautiously returned to the spot. Standing in the shadow of a towering tree, they tried to make sense of what they had seen. The creature, an estimated 7 feet tall, slightly hunched, had locked eyes with them before vanishing into the wilderness. What did they see that day? A misidentified animal or something more? Over the years, strange sightings have been reported around Chernobyl, the site of one of the world's worst nuclear disasters and now a haunting radioactive wasteland. Recently, a chilling video surfaced online, allegedly filmed in the area. In it, a bizarre creature crawls across the ground with a jerky, unnatural movement. Its body is patchy with matted brown fur, but large areas appear hairless and raw, like something's seriously wrong. Some viewers believe it's just a starving wolf or a mangy stray dog, but others think it might be something far more disturbing, something twisted by radiation, a mutation that nature never intended. What do you think it is? While making their way back to a secluded cabin deep in the woods, surrounded by gates and miles from the nearest neighbor, something chilling stopped them in their tracks. Just ahead, a figure suddenly sprinted away from the cabin, vanishing into the trees. At first, the stranger seemed to think they'd gone unnoticed, crouching behind a bush like a predator in hiding. But when they saw they were still being watched, they took off again, this time running even faster, without glancing back. No words were exchanged. No reason was given. Just a silent, unnerving encounter that left behind more questions than answers. Someone had trespassed, and whatever they were doing there, it wasn't normal. A Redditor by the name of Burton Boy uploaded a spine-tingling clip to the Chills Narrator subreddit. He claimed to have captured an eerie sound deep in the woods, something that didn't match any known animal. The mysterious video quickly ignited a firestorm of speculation in the comments. Some swore it sounded like a werewolf, while others were left completely baffled. To this day, no one has been able to explain what Burton Boy recorded. Two friends set out to explore an abandoned convent about an hour from town. The place was creepy, but perfect for a viral TikTok dance, so they hit record. As the girl danced, the guy behind the camera suddenly froze. Just over her shoulder, something didn't feel right. They inched closer, and that's when they saw it.
What the fuck? Hey, stop.
I'm so...
Oh my god. Also, stop. Hold him.
Also, come on.
What the fuck is that? Holy shit. Oh my god.
A group of people standing in a tight circle, heads bowed, silently performing what looked like a ritual. Shaken to the core, the friends fled. The video cuts off, with no answers, only questions. Not long ago, a man camping in a Texas state park woke up to a strange surprise. After a night of heavy rain, he unzipped his tent and noticed something bizarre.
Hey, we're camping in this beautiful state park in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And it's not this tarp, because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. Are they chemtrailing us?
The rainwater around him was blue. What he witnessed wasn't an isolated incident. Similar reports have been popping up across Texas and California, with blue rain falling from the sky, with no clear explanation. Some blame cloud seeding or weather manipulation, suggesting that chemicals sprayed into the atmosphere are altering natural weather patterns. Others point to more secretive possibilities, such as government experiments or geoengineering gone awry. On the scientific side, experts have floated natural causes like blue-green algae, bacteria, or dust and pollution particles being lifted into the atmosphere and returned in the rain. While discolored rain is rare, it's not entirely unheard of. Still, despite all the theories, no one knows for sure why it happened. And so, the eerie mystery of the blue rain continues to baffle both locals and scientists alike. While hiking roughly 3 miles off the main trail in a dense wooded area near Austin, Texas, a Reddit user came across something deeply unsettling: a hidden gravesite, or perhaps a memorial. There were fresh flowers, a photograph, and personal mementos, all deliberately arranged with care. The scene felt intimate, somber, and undeniably heavy. Was this the place where someone ended their life, or a secret sanctuary built to honor a loved one in a spot that once held meaning? On December 14, 2019, deep in the Plumas foothills of Northern California, this person captured something chilling. The recording was made on this person's great-grandfather's 5,000-acre cattle ranch, a vast stretch of land sitting right between rugged foothills and a quiet valley. Now, this person has always been fascinated with Bigfoot. With so much untouched wilderness out here, this person often wondered if something or some things were lurking in those hills. That night, this person caught a strange sound echoing across the valley. It's hard to hear clearly, and this person admits the final roar you'll hear is just a cow down by the creek. But the other sound, the one that comes before, it didn't sound like a cow, or anything else this person has heard before. Some say it could be an owl. Others think it's something much more mysterious. So here's the question: who or what was making that sound out there in the darkness? A wildlife photographer in Australia recently stumbled upon a spine-chilling sight that turned an ordinary day into a nightmare-fueled moment. What seemed like an innocent patch of grass clinging to a tree took a terrifying twist. With just a gentle poke from a stick, the grass suddenly burst into a frenzy of motion, thousands of spiders erupting and scattering in every direction. As horrifying as it looked, these spiders weren't dangerous. They weren't venomous or aggressive, just taking a cozy group nap in tight hibernation. Still, when a clump of grass turns into a swarm of skittering legs, that's the kind of surprise you don't forget. This image was captured by this person on a trail camera deep in the woods of northern Indiana, nearly 20 years ago. At first glance, it looks like nothing, but then this person noticed something eerie. A white, smoke-like mist silently drifts across the frame, no footsteps, no breeze, just movement. So the question is, who or what was floating there that night? Was this person witnessing something paranormal, or was it all a carefully staged hoax? You decide. Reddit user Alternative Pickle 3 caught something truly chilling on their cabin's security camera late one night around 11 p.m. In the bottom right corner of the screen, a shadowy figure suddenly appeared just outside the house. But here's where it gets downright eerie. The snow beneath where the figure stood was completely untouched. No footprints, no signs of movement. Then, just as the camera's night vision kicked in, the figure vanished without a trace. This person and a group of friends went looking for a scare, but what they found was something they'll never forget. Deep in the Appalachian woods near Middlesboro, Kentucky, there's a trail with a dark past. In the 1990s, an unsolved murder took place there. The killer was never officially caught, but locals all seem to know who did it. Still, the case remains open, and the area is infamous for its heavy, unsettling energy. So one night, just for fun, this person and their friends decided to visit the site like teens do when they're chasing a thrill. But what started as a creepy adventure quickly turned into something else. The group began to feel like they were being followed, not just watched but stalked. This person spun around and snapped a photo behind them. There was no one there, at least not that they could see. But when this person turned up the contrast on the photo later, that's when it got terrifying. A shape, a figure, something or someone was there. So who or what was standing on that trail that night? A living stalker? A remnant of the unsolved murder? Or something darker that never left the woods? One thing's for sure, this person wasn't alone out there. A Redditor once shared a chilling photo they'd taken years ago on a simple digital camera during a trip with friends. While clearing out the old memory card, they stumbled upon an image that immediately gave them chills. Something was lurking in the background. There were no mirrors, no windows, nothing that could have caused a reflection, yet something was there. The user mentioned the house they stayed in had a dark history, with a long string of unexplained events. This eerie photo might just be another piece of that unsettling puzzle. While hiking deep in the woods, a group of friends stumbled across something strange. At first it looked like nothing, just part of the forest floor. But then a door within a door.
Within a door. Pull it, pull it.
Scarier.
Pull it. Is that glass?
It's plexiglass. I fucking heard noises.
Dude, fucking do it.
Ugh. Do you hear it echoing?
We have to do it now.
Holy shit.
Are you?
This is insane.
Oh.
There's a flashlight in my backpack.
Go get the flashlight.
It's in the top.
What the fuck?
It's a shitty flashlight, but oh, it doesn't make any difference. This is so deep.
Bro, but you can see it, like, there. Hold on.
There's a ladder.
They were staring at a hidden bunker, buried deep beneath the earth, untouched for decades. Cold, silent, forgotten. Whatever was in there probably needed to stay that way. On the evening of May 10th, around 8:30 p.m., a camper in Martinsville, Indiana, looked up and saw something bizarre drifting through the sky. Curious and a little unsettled, they snapped a photo and posted it to Reddit, and that's when things blew up. The object's silhouette was eerie, almost human-like, as if someone were just hanging mid-air. Theories flooded in. A rogue superhero balloon? Something not of this world? While the most reasonable guess is that it was simply a balloon. For a fleeting moment, It felt like the sky was hiding a mystery. And just like that, the ordinary turned chilling. A Reddit user snapped a photo late at night, not expecting anything unusual. But when they looked closer, just behind a house, something white caught their eye. It wasn't smoke. It wasn't a lens flare. It looked exactly like a person, or something shaped like one hidden in the shadows. The eerie part? No one saw it in real time. Only the camera did. He was just unloading groceries. Nothing unusual. Just a regular day. His back was turned to the security camera, and everything seemed perfectly normal. But when he later reviewed the footage, something chilling stood out. In a single frame, a mysterious figure appears right next to his car. He swears he was alone. No footsteps, no voices, nothing. And yet, the image tells a different story. The figure doesn't look menacing, but its sudden, unexplained presence is enough to raise eyebrows. Some are calling it paranormal. Others wonder if he's telling the full truth. Was he alone, or just looking for attention? Either way, the image is hard to ignore. While driving through a wide-open stretch of the Appalachian meadows, a hiker and his family found themselves in the middle of an eerie encounter. Out of nowhere, in the middle of the empty field, a woman suddenly appeared. She seemed panicked or unhinged.
I have kids in the car. You better go. I have kids in the car. You better go.
What?
Who is that? Who is that?
They're calling me a damn fucking kid!
Girl, Christina? I got you on video. You better get back.
Jeff's after you.
Jeff's right there. He ain't doing shit.
You're the one to say something about my damn son! And I got all over recorder. Get the fuck!
Confused, the hiker tried to make sense of what was going on. The hiker, now filming for his safety, warned her, "I got you on video. You better step back." But she didn't stop. What exactly set her off remains a mystery. Was she having a breakdown? Was something or someone chasing her? Thankfully, after a tense few minutes, she calmed down, and the hiker and his family quietly drove away, shaken but unharmed. Back in 2009, a group of teenagers was out camping in the remote woods of Oklahoma, goofing off with a gas-soaked bottle and filming their antics for fun. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, just a typical night in the wilderness. But when they reviewed the footage later, they spotted something chilling they hadn't noticed before. Lurking in the background between the trees was a gray figure, silent, almost ghost-like. It moved with an eerie grace, not quite human, but not fully animal either. None of them had seen or heard it in person that night, and to this day, no one online has been able to identify what it was. Can you? As this man ventured into the woods to cut down a tree, he witnessed something truly bizarre.
Get down close to it.
There's air coming out of this tree.
Trying to catch his breath.
Yeah.
Why make you short-winded? I never seen a tree do that.
No, it's still...
The moment his axe struck the trunk, whoosh, a powerful burst of air shot out, almost like the tree was exhaling. It might sound supernatural, but there's a fascinating scientific reason behind it. Trees are filled with tiny vessels. Think of them as nature's version of veins that can trap and release air under the right conditions. While staying at a historic hotel in Windsor, one guest accidentally captured something truly chilling. In the photo, a ghostly figure of a young girl seems to appear, almost too clearly to ignore. This building, standing for over a century, has long been whispered about for its paranormal activity. Guests and staff alike have reported eerie encounters. A little girl seen roaming the hallways, disembodied laughter echoing through the night, and faint voices with no source. Skeptics point to tricks of light or pareidolia, the brain seeing faces where none exist. But others say this image might finally be the proof believers have been waiting for. While mapping out her next backpacking adventure using Google Street View, Reddit user Embarrassing 0001 stumbled upon something downright bizarre. One image showed a cyclist seemingly absorbing energy from another person. At least, that's what Redditors claimed as they dove headfirst into Hollywood physics to make sense of the surreal scene. In the third image, things got even weirder. The cyclist looked like they were taking off. Was this just a quirky camera glitch, a mind-bending optical illusion, or a real-life glitch in the Matrix? No one knows for sure, but the post quickly became a hotbed for wild theories and hilarious speculation. So, what do you think is going on here? This eerie footage was captured on a relative's trail camera deep in the woods, and what it shows is downright unsettling. A group of women, all dressed in white, stood silently among the trees. No clear faces, no explanation, just there. What were they doing out there in the dead of night? Some kind of ritual? A lost group? Or something even darker? Whatever the answer is, one thing's for sure. This isn't something you'd ever want to stumble upon alone. This user was deep in a forest in Switzerland when he heard it, a blood-curdling scream echoing through the night. At first, he thought it had to be an animal, maybe a fox. But here's the thing, this forest doesn't have foxes. None. Not a single one. Some strange incident happened years ago that wiped them all out, and ever since the area's been completely fox-free. But the sound that was heard? It wasn't an animal. It sounded exactly like children screaming. Multiple voices calling out from somewhere in the darkness. He stood frozen in the middle of the forest, miles from the nearest town, with no explanation for what I was hearing. No lights, no movement. Just those haunting cries, as if they were circling me. So what was it? Who or what was making those sounds in a forest where no living creature should be making them? Late one night, campers gathered around a roaring fire, laughing, telling stories, when suddenly, something changed. The air grew colder, and then, someone spotted it. Just beyond the flickering flames, a white figure, barely visible. Arms stretched wide as if it was reaching out. But reaching for what? Or who? While hiking, this person saw something strange in the woods and decided to go back. Curiosity got the better of him, so he grabbed a flashlight, camera, and headed into the forest to see if he could find anything, or explain what he thought he saw. He wasn't expecting much, just a quiet walk, maybe a spooky vibe or two. Then he hit record and filmed for about 15 minutes just in case. But here's where it gets weird. While he was out there, he didn't see anything unusual. But when he played back the footage later that night, something was there, clear as day, standing in the middle of the path, still, watching. It looked like a ghost, or something pretending to be human. The figure wasn't moving, just staring. It wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't some blurry shadow. The camera picked it up perfectly, almost too perfectly. And yet, we never saw it in person. Only the lens caught it. So now I have to ask, who or what was standing there in the middle of the woods that night? Was it something supernatural? Or could someone be staging this? This person took their dog for a late-night walk through a forest they usually avoid after dark. Everything seemed normal until the dog, usually playful, stuck nervously by their side. As they passed abandoned houses deep in the woods, the dog lagged. This person called out, "Coco, let's go, we need to go." But the moment they turned their back, they heard their voice repeat those exact words from behind them. Same tone, same delivery, but they hadn't said it again. So, who or what did? Was someone hiding in the woods? A mimic? Or was this person lured into something far more terrifying? Kaylin Schulte and Crystal Turner were living their dream, a free-spirited life on the road, hopping from one campsite to another in their trusty van. But something felt off on the night of August 15th, 2021. During a call with friends, they mentioned a strange man lurking near their campsite, making them uneasy. Later that night, at a local bar, they voiced their fears again that someone nearby was creeping them out. They planned to leave the area the next day, but they never got the chance. On August 18th, their bodies were discovered near their campsite, both shot and left in the wilderness they loved so much. The warnings haunted friends and family the couple had given just days before. Months passed with no answers until May 2022, when police finally named a suspect, Adam Pinkusiewicz. He had already taken his own life shortly after the murders, but not before confessing to someone that he had killed 2 women in Utah, revealing chilling details only the killer could have known. Kaylin and Crystal's adventurous journey was tragically cut short not by nature, but by a predator hiding in plain sight. A Reddit user recently dared to explore an abandoned town under the cover of night, but what they encountered still haunts them. Amid the crushing silence, they heard it. The unmistakable sound of children laughing and whispering. In a town that's been deserted for years, how could that be?
¿Eres una niña? Oy, güey, si oye que están hablando, güey. Oy. Oigan. Hola. Oy. Oy.
Para allá, güey. Yo lo escucho para acá, carnal.
Sí, para allá se escucha, güey. Niña, ¿puedes venir a jugar con nosotros?
Some say the voices were echoes of the past, the restless spirits of children who once lived there. Others chalk it up to the wind playing tricks, or perhaps an eerie coincidence of nature. But in that shadow-choked place, with nothing but darkness pressing in, the line between reality and the supernatural began to blur. On March 3rd, 2023, in the quiet town of Mount Vernon, Georgia, a woman was casually snapping sunset photos of her brand new porch. At the time, everything seemed perfectly normal. But years later, while scrolling through those old pictures, her daughter spotted something bone-chilling, a shadowy figure standing silently on the porch. The home sits deep in Civil War territory, eerily nestled between 2 historic graveyards, Adams Cemetery and the Basil Connell Family Cemetery. Though there haven't been many reports of paranormal activity in the house, the woman admits to feeling unexplained cold spots from time to time. So, did she unknowingly capture a ghostly visitor from the past? On their way home from a rainy hike, a group of friends captured something bone-chilling on camera. A mysterious hand appeared out of nowhere, pressed against the windshield, and then vanished without a trace. The rain was hammering down, the car was speeding through slick roads, and yet somehow, the moment was caught in perfect clarity. At first, skeptics dismissed it as a hoax, but when they looked closer at the weather, the speed, the angle, doubts started creeping in. Pulling off a prank that convincing under those conditions? Nearly impossible. Some believe it was the ghost of a local legend reaching out. Others swear it had to be a clever illusion. But no matter what theory you believe, no one has ever explained what happened. Around 2 a.m., a woman called her friend with an unusual request. She wanted to visit an old forgotten cabin hidden deep in the woods on private land. The place had been abandoned for years, with only wild animals occasionally roaming inside. When they got there, the cabin was eerie, filled with unsettling remnants of the past, but nothing outright terrifying. It wasn't until they were driving away that things took a chilling turn. As they sat in the back of the truck, casually recording their ride home, a blood-curdling scream suddenly echoed through the woods. What made it even more disturbing? The scream sounded exactly like the woman's mother, but her mother was sitting right next to her in the truck. To this day, they have no idea who or what let out that scream. While out camping and hunting one night, a man captured a chilling photo that has left people puzzled ever since. In the middle of a wide open meadow, something strange appears in the darkness, a faint, shadowy figure lurking in the distance. The image is blurry, making it nearly impossible to identify exactly what it is. But one thing is clear: it looks like someone or something is watching. Since the photo surfaced, theories have run wild. Was it just a curious animal? An eerie optical illusion? Or could it have been something far more sinister hiding in plain sight? Some even suggest it might have been an owl, but others aren't so sure. While riding his bike, this person heard something chilling. An isolated baby's cry echoing through the middle of nowhere. In many cultures, that sound is more than unsettling. It's believed to be the call of a jinn. Others fear it could be a sinister trap, possibly tied to human trafficking. The haunting cry forced a terrifying question. Do you stop and try to help, or keep going and protect yourself? What would you have done? While camping near a quiet river, one Redditor's friend captured something bone-chilling on camera. A mysterious figure draped in what looked like a robe. According to them, it moved swiftly and silently. Almost too silently. The eerie details made the whole encounter feel like something straight out of a ghost story. But here's the creepiest part. This wasn't the first time they saw it. The figure had appeared twice before, vanishing before anyone could snap a photo. Now that it's finally been caught on camera, the internet is divided. Some say it's just shadows playing tricks. Others are convinced it's the real deal. What do you see? A glitch of light? Or a ghost in plain sight? If you liked that video, make sure to check out the Dare to Watch YouTube channel, where we have tons of videos just like this. And if you want to see our latest scary hiking encounters, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.